I am 94 years old. I live in my daughter's spare bedroom because she is the only one of my 4 children who ever believed me. I had a husband of 48 years. I had a home. I had 3 other children. I had a future I didn't know was mine. And I lost all of it because of one lie told by the one person I trusted most. What I am about to tell you is the story of a husband who made me the villain for what he did. Children who chose the wrong side for 46 years. And a stolen letter that proves I was meant to be somebody else entirely. Raymond and I married in June of 1951 in a small church in Danville, Pennsylvania. I was 21. He was 24. He worked at the ironworks and had steady hands and steady eyes. He had this way of looking at you that made you feel like you were the only person alive. I know how that sounds, but when you're 21 and a man with a paycheck and confidence looks at you like that, you don't ask questions. You should, but you don't. We moved to Scranton for his job at Chamberlain Manufacturing. We bought a house on Birch Street for $6,400 and started filling it. James came in 52, Robert in 55, Nancy in 58, Claire in 62, 4 children, 1 income, a house that needed something fixed every single week. But it was full in the right way. Shoes by the door, cereal bowls in the sink, noise everywhere. The kind of full you don't appreciate until it's gone. There's something I need to tell you about what I gave up to marry Raymond, because it matters later. In the spring of 1950, I applied to Bloomsburg State Teachers College. I wanted to be a teacher more than I had ever wanted anything. My mother had been a teacher before she married my father. I used to watch her read and think, I want to do that. I want to stand in a room and help people understand things. I mailed the application in March. Raymond and I were courting at the time. In May, he told me a rejection letter had come while I was visiting my aunt. He said he opened it by mistake. Said he was sorry the school didn't know what they were missing. I cried for 3 days. Then I married him. Because what else was I going to do? I wasn't smart enough for college. At least that's what I believed for 74 years. September 1978. I came home early from a church bazaar with a migraine. The house was supposed to be empty. Raymond had a union meeting. His truck was in the driveway. Behind it was a blue Buick with a dent in the rear bumper. It's strange what details the brain keeps. I walked inside. The house was quiet in a way that wasn't quiet. There were sounds upstairs that a woman married 27 years does not need explained to her. I went up the stairs. I opened my bedroom door. There was my husband, in our bed, with a red-haired woman younger than me. She looked at me like I was the one who didn't belong there. Raymond jumped up. She grabbed her clothes and ran. He stood there in his undershirt and said, "Dorothy, it's not what it looks like." And I said, "Raymond, I am a lot of things, but I am not blind." That was the only time in my life I said exactly the right words at exactly the right moment. He admitted everything. Her name was Phyllis Moran. She worked in the office at Chamberlain. It had been going on for 2 years. 2 years of Tuesday union meetings. 2 years of Saturday overtime. 2 years of me ironing his shirts so he looked nice for the woman who was taking them off. But the affair is not what destroyed my family. People survive affairs. What Raymond did next is what burned my life to the ground. I told him I wanted a divorce. I gave him 1 week to tell our children what he had done, or I would tell them myself. He used that week, but not the way I told him to. He called each child separately: James in Pittsburgh, Robert newly married, Nancy away at school. He cried on the phone, told them their mother had been having an affair with a church deacon named Ed Mackey, a man I had spoken to maybe a dozen times in my life. By the time I found out what he had done, my children had already chosen a side. James called me first. His voice was ice. "We know about Ed Mackey, Mom." "I don't know what you're talking about," I said. "Dad told us everything. Don't lie to us on top of it." I started to say, "Your father is the one who..." He hung up. My firstborn child hung up on me mid-sentence. Nancy sent a letter, 1 page. "I don't know how you could do this to Daddy. Don't contact me until you're ready to be honest." Robert stopped calling altogether, like I'd been edited out of his life. Claire was 16, the only one still at home. She saw everything, saw that I wasn't sneaking around, saw that I was the one sitting at the kitchen table at 2 in the morning, staring at the wall, while Raymond slept peacefully. One night she whispered, "Mama, I know it's not true." 16 years old. The youngest was the only one who understood. Raymond continued seeing Phyllis for 28 more years. 10,000 days of a man living a lie while his wife took the punishment. We never divorced. I was 48, no degree, no job, no money in my name. Claire still in school. So I stayed. Separate bedrooms for 33 years. We spoke about groceries, bills, weather, nothing that mattered. I tried to go back to school at 55. Lackawanna Community College. Maybe I could still become something. James called when he heard. "Mom, don't you think you're a little old for that?" I dropped out after 1 semester. Not because he was right, but because carrying the lie, the loneliness, the dead marriage, and homework was too heavy for one body. The thing I wanted most was always the first to go. That's how it works for women of my generation. Raymond died in 2011. On his hospital bed, he grabbed my hand and said, "Dot, I'm sorry." "For which part?" I asked. He didn't answer. 6 weeks ago, a package arrived. Inside were letters, dozens. Raymond to Phyllis, Phyllis to Raymond, from 1976 onward. Love letters, photographs, birthdays, vacations he said we couldn't afford. 28 years documented in his own handwriting. and at the bottom of the box, an envelope. Bloomsburg State Teachers College, May 14, 1950. Claire opened it. Dear Miss Kessler, we are pleased to inform you that you have been accepted into the class of 1954 with a full academic scholarship. Full scholarship. I wasn't rejected. I was accepted. He hid it. He stole it. He took my future and put it in a box. For 74 years, I believed I wasn't good enough. James called the next day. I hung up on you in 1978, and you were telling the truth. I was, I said. He cried. Robert drove down and wept at my kitchen table. Nancy hasn't called. She built her whole life around believing I was the villain. I understand that. I lived inside a lie about myself for 74 years. It becomes part of your bones. But I am 94 years old. I do not have 46 more years to carry someone else's lie. That acceptance letter sits on my nightstand. I read it every night. Claire told me, "Mama, you would have been a wonderful teacher." And I said, "I know, baby. I would have been extraordinary. Because I am done being small." Claire believed me when she was 16. She believes me now. And that has always been enough.